Hey guys, welcome to this video. My name is Al from Qkumba Zoo, and today I'm going to be talking about pushing the envelope. This video has been a long time coming for two reasons. One is, firstly, we owe you communication because I've been extremely poor at talking to you guys the last couple of months, so I do apologize. And the second reason for the delay is that it's taken some time to set up and prep for the things I'm going to be talking to you about today. So yeah, welcome. Glad to have you here. So I'm going to be talking about that's a subject that's difficult to communicate for me, and that is Qkumba Zoo income. And the reason for that is one of the things you've noticed about Qkumba Zoo is how long it takes for us to finish things, to finish music, video, all that kind of thing. And this is due to our current income, which is basically streaming, not supporting more full-time involvement in Qkumba Zoo. And this explains why it just takes so much time for us to finish songs and finish music. And honestly, I hate it, and I want to change the situation. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that, to you guys about that. So open cards, basically the income from our current streaming and publishing doesn't actually pay even for our monthly rent, let alone all the other costs that come with producing music and video. And like all artists, we're trying to find various ways that can help support our involvement in Qkumba Zoo. So I'm going to talk about two things in this video. One is a more traditional way of supporting us and supporting that process if you'd like to be involved, and that is through our Patreon page. And the second thing is us using the emerging technology such as blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and supporting us in that realm if that's something that interests you. But before continuing any further, I just want to say that I hope you're not worried, because we will always be available here on Facebook or on our Facebook page. You guys have been really good to us, and I feel like we built a small but really beautiful community, and we really cherish the space. So whether you join us on the Patreon or the NFT that I'm going to be talking about, whether you do or don't, doesn't really matter. We'll still always be available here. And that's despite the fact that both Levan and myself are really bad at social media. I don't think I'll ever become good at it, but just know that we will keep communicating with you guys here on Facebook, on our Facebook page and on YouTube, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to, with that in mind, tell you about these other things, and hopefully you'll be curious in looking into those things. I will be, as this is quite a long video, I will be timestamping below. And for those of you who know quite a lot about the subjects I'm going to talk about, you can probably skip over some of the video. Otherwise, I'll be talking you through a lot of the process that if you're new to the spaces would need to go through in order to participate with us there. So without further ado, moving on. Bearing in mind that it really helps us to have like a stable monthly income from Qkumba Zoo, and both to help pay rent so I don't have to do other work, but also in terms of being able to afford to pay people that help us on the journey. For instance, people who help us mixing and producing and making videos. We have set up a Patreon page. Now, in my mind, not everyone is open to or is very positive about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and that's fine. I don't think I'm here to try and change anyone's mind. So we've got, for those of you who are not interested in that but are still very keen to, or who are still keen to support us, we have set up a Patreon page, and I will be putting all these links below. As you know, Patreon is a monthly subscription. And currently in November 2021, we only have one tier for $5 that we will be expanding as we grow that space. Now, it's kind of at the moment work in progress. So if you join us there and you like something from the page, I'll be very happy for you to kind of communicate that with us. Basically, it's a more intimate space than we can do here on Facebook. And we can share different parts of ourselves and creativity that we don't actually want out in the open. As an artist, you go through various phases in your creativity, for instance, around a song or video or what have you. And I'm keen to share that process, but I can't put it out there into the open in front of people who don't know who you are or don't understand the context of what we're doing by releasing that, you know, a work in progress song or music. And obviously, in the same time, if you know, Patreon is a way for us to get a stable monthly income as well. So on both levels, we have set up our Patreon page to create a space where people can support us and they can participate more closely with us and in our journey. What else is there? So we are, excuse me, I've got my notes here, so I'm going to be referring off the side pretty regularly. So what else we have? We're going to share work on there that we have no intention of releasing at all. You know, so it's just like pieces of music that we made before, or poetry that Lavana wrote, pieces of creativity that we don't really have intention of just making publicly available. And then at the same time, we'll also be doing early releases of music, you know, that maybe we'll share little snippets of that journey, so you can get to see like what I think about when I'm producing. And we've got 2 works in progress right now. One is I'm redoing a song called Torn Between You and the Sky, and a song that we sort of semi-released last year, but very unofficially. And we're going to be going through the mixing process now. That is Life's a Spark. So for instance, those 2 songs, I've already put up instances of Torn in progress. And yeah, you know, we'll be showing that stuff. So works in progress. And you know, I'm keen if you have a listen to that music and you feel like you've got a constructive comment, I'm very keen for you guys to give that to us on there. Also, we'll be doing early releases, so things that we do intend to release that are finalized, and our patrons would get first dibs at hearing that stuff. There are pictures that will only be released on Patreon, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later, but we do have, I've recently discovered pictures taken by a friend of ours who was quite closely involved with the band at that time, and you might enjoy that. And then of course there'll be things like polls and other ways to communicate with us, and we are very, very keen to explore other ways to interact. For instance, I've been thinking about writing a bit of a story about how we started and what South Africa was like in those days, the environment within which we grew up, and how we met each other, that kind of thing. And I have spoken sort of briefly about that before, but I want to write something that explores that at more of a depth. So for instance, we might create a tier on Patreon where you get the draft of each chapter as I finish writing them. So yeah, so Patreon, if you're interested in joining that community, I'll leave the links below. And yeah, we'd love to see you there if that's the way you'd like to support us. Right, so that was Patreon, and Patreon is let's call it a more traditional way of supporting us, and we'd be very, very happy if that's how you want to support us. But before moving on to what I want to talk about next, I think I just want to say, you know, the Qkumba Zoo has always been an early adopter in certain technologies. So it's going to sound a bit weird, you know, like what I'm going to say next, but you know, we were one of the first bands that we knew of that actually had a website. You know, it was not a great looking website, and it was back in the era of Netscape. So we're talking like really, really early days of the internet. And we knew at the time that, you know, our fans were not just from where we were in the Joburg area, but were from around the world. So we set up a web page, or when I say I designed a really crappy looking web page, but we had it. And you know, okay, we kind of missed the whole TikTok thing and maybe Instagram, but that's a blip along the way. But so moving on from there, I think, you know, I really do believe that blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, NFTs, are very much going to be a part of our future. And in a way right now, although they're exploding in consciousness, that we're still very, very early on in that process. And I'm not here to try and convince anyone. If you interested in, if you are interested in that already, or maybe you're curious and looking further, then you can follow us down that journey. Otherwise, very happy, if you want to stick with Patreon. And before I talk about the specific thing today, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to be exploring quite a few options around blockchain in the coming months. For instance, there's Audius, which is a music distribution platform based on Solana blockchain, and we'll probably be releasing some music dance and just seeing how it goes. Then on the video side, we're going to be looking at creating some videos that we might release on the Theta platform. But anyway, so we're going to expect more of that kind of stuff in the coming months. But today, what we're going to be talking about is Qkumba Zoo NFTs. By now, I'm pretty sure obviously, I think everyone's heard about Bitcoin, whether you've invested or not. And you might, or very likely, have heard about NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens. They've kind of exploded in the sort of tech space this year. And there's millions going into the turnover of the whole NFT space, notably mostly in art and graphic, but it's evolving. There's other kinds of digital assets like music and video that are also starting to move, and probably you've heard about the Beeple art piece that sold for 69 million. If you don't know, NFTs are a way of signing uniqueness to digital assets. I won't go very deeply into that because there's videos by people in the space that explain it a lot better than me. So I'm going to be linking to some videos below of YouTubers that I actually quite like, and they explain the whole NFT phenomena in a very clear and much more expansive way than what I can. But yeah, just so you know, I mean, just from my take of NFTs is that they using blockchain technology, they're a way of taking a digital asset, for instance, a picture, and creating a non-fungibility. So, meaning depending on what you want to do with the NFT, but an example would be you can create a one-of-one version of an art piece that you've done, or a picture, or a painting, or a piece of music. And yes, it's possible to copy that and say, hey, I've got the JPEG of this thing that you're selling, but that copy is a copy and it's not digitally signed. It's not minted by the original person, author or musician, and so it has less value. The kind of real world equivalent is you can take a painting by Van Gogh and the original will be worth millions, but if someone paints a copy, it's worth almost nothing. But yeah, I think there's so much to debate about it, and you're going to make up your own mind. And if you're kind of exploring this, I will leave some links below to YouTubers who explain the phenomena of NFTs a lot better than what I'm going to be able to do. So just before proceeding with our Qkumba Zoo discussing our Qkumba Zoo NFTs, there's just a couple of thoughts that I have around it, just to give context. So NFT, if you have not bought NFTs before, or you haven't really explored them, they're very kind of project based, where the artist creates in those projects, they become a collectible. So examples are CryptoPunks that started, I think, 2018, and they're only 8-bit designs, and yet some of them are selling for millions. And it's projects that do well rather than just individual pieces. So I'm kind of just putting it out there because it's a bit of context in terms of, when I talk about what our Qkumba Zoo NFTs. Currently, NFTs are highly speculative, and to my mind, we're in a bubble. And sometimes I look at what is out there, and I can't believe how much money people are spending on them. There's millions of dollars pouring into NFTs. So when I talk about NFTs, for me, it's less about the speculation side of it and more about something that we can give to our fans that they can own. And as you'll see, I'm trying to make it as easy and accessible as possible. Yeah, so despite the fact that I think that the NFT space is currently a bubble, it doesn't actually deflect from the fundamental value or the fundamentals of NFTs. You know, whether it's in art or music or even in real world application, they're using blockchain to track a unique digital asset or unique real world asset has an incredible power, and I don't think we really understand the full impact of what this is all going to mean. So yes, we're in a bubble. Yes, there's a huge amount of speculation going on, but also yes, I think there's incredible value in the whole NFT space, and we are only at the very, very beginning of all of that. But yeah, so those are just some of my thoughts around NFTs. Now, part of the problem with the whole NFT space right now is that there's a plethora of blockchains where you can mint NFTs and marketplaces where you can buy and sell these NFTs. But the main platform where this has happened up to very recently is on the Ethereum platform. And as you might know, the Ethereum platform is the second biggest crypto, but it's become very expensive to transact on Ethereum. So in a way, it's become quite an elitist way of trading in NFTs at the moment, because the gas price can cost more than the actual NFT. And for those of you who don't know, every time you transact on the Ethereum blockchain, you have to pay for the transaction in what's called gas. So we want our NFTs to be accessible to you guys. We don't actually want to participate in something that makes it elitist. That, along with the fact that many other platforms didn't actually really give me what I was looking for, means that I didn't use Ethereum. And so we looked at other blockchains like Solana, Phantom, Cardano, even Polygon. But what we ended up doing is going with a kind of less obvious, less well-known blockchain called the Near Protocol. It's one of the newer protocols, so like I said, it's not nearly as well known. But it's based on the proof of stake consensus methodology, which means the transactions are a lot quicker, a lot cheaper, and is much more environmentally friendly. So it uses a lot less electrical energy to process transactions. There's other blockchains that are similar as well, but another reason why we chose the Near Protocol is that there's a marketplace based on the Near Protocol that I actually really like, and it serves my purpose, or serves the purpose of what I'm trying to do. And that marketplace is called Mintbase. It is not one of the bigger ones. In fact, it's in comparison has less trading going on than, for instance, OpenSea, which is the biggest marketplace based on the Ethereum blockchain. But however, it has a number of advantages, and that even OpenSea doesn't have. The first one is that it's one of the first marketplaces I've seen that focuses on things like audio and music and even video. Most of them are mainly focused on images, but Mintbase does help musicians as well as artists. And the second thing is, and I'm sort of blown away by the fact that all marketplaces don't have this functionality, but you know, there's a number of people that go up into creating our NFTs. So besides Levan and myself, so we want to be able to split the income from the sale of our NFTs to not only myself and Levan, but everyone else involved. And also I've created a Qkumba Zoo operational wallet where we take a percentage of income and we put in there, and that goes towards paying people like mixing engineers, producers, put it towards marketing, that kind of thing. And then we've got a Qkumba Zoo tithe wallet as well. So a minimum of 10% of each sale will go to our tithe wallet, and that is, Levan and myself will decide what we're going to do with it. For instance, Levan is very interested in progressive education. I'm very interested in environmental issues, social issues, and we also want to pay homage to Tiki, and we'll be donating money towards institutions and charities that deal with mental health. You guys know that Tiki committed suicide, so as a band, in her memory, we want to be supporting initiatives that will help people with mental health, and so they don't have to go down the same road as what Tiki did. She was such a bright spark, a bright part of who we were, that we really want to be able to honor her memory like that. Yeah, so Mintbase as a marketplace has allowed me every time I mint a NFT to split the income between various wallets, myself, Lavana, operational wallets, other creative people, and our Qkumba Zoo tithe. And at the same time, just so you guys know, that every time one of these NFTs gets sold on, there's a 10% royalty, so we will get a small percentage of that sale, and that also gets split between these wallets. I'm sure if you're new to the space, you've got a ton of questions, and I'll be interested in your comments and questions that you might have. So if you're watching us on YouTube, drop us a comment there, or if you're watching us on Facebook, please, start a conversation, and I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think, and if you have any input on these issues. Cool. So Qkumba Zoo NFTs. By now you will have seen on Facebook some examples of the photographs that we put up there, and these photographs are homegrown photo shoots of us in the 90s, taken by a very good friend of ours, and this was close to the band then, and we're still good friends now. She spent a lot of time with us in various sort of situations, including gigs, touring, and also she helped us do some marketing photo shoots. And these photos that we're using the NFTs come from those photo shoots. Hopefully you can kind of see us having fun, and you have seen some examples on Facebook, and we are going to post other photographs from those sessions onto Patreon as well. So if you join us on Patreon, you're not going to miss out there either. We have chosen a unique set of NFTs, and you'll be able to see these NFTs in the context, because I'm going to leave a link below of a virtual gallery where you can see these NFTs. Now, the NFTs that we're doing, a lot of those of you who know about the space, you'll recognize there's a certain kind of stylization that goes into many of the big projects at the moment, like Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks and a whole bunch of other different projects. And they're very stylized, and they're computer generated, varying the characteristics of each picture so they become unique. But obviously we're not doing that. We're taking our photographs from those early shoots, and we minting those photographs onto the blockchain, and those are NFTs. So they're pretty raw. We're not doing anything to them. And I thought actually it's better that way, because I just find that there's something unique about those photographs anyway, and I don't want to adulterate that with anything, that we put on top of that. In the future, we might do some collaboration with artists, and where we take these photographs and include them in a piece of art rather than just as a photograph. But this set of NFTs will be the OGs, the kind of original Qkumba Zoo NFTs. So hopefully enjoy them, and you'll be interested in purchasing one or two of them. Now, we wanted to make these NFTs accessible to you, so we haven't done crazy pricing. If you've spent any time in the NFT space, you'll know that there's some NFTs that cost thousands of dollars. We haven't done that. I've minted them at a price of 3 near protocol coins, and those coins in November 2021 would be anywhere between $30 to $40, depending on the exchange, the price of near protocol at the time of when you buy it. There will be a set of 3 per photograph, so 1 of 3. Now you must know that you can, once you buy something, you can obviously put it up for sale again at a price of your choosing. But I wanted to make sure that you guys, if you're interested, can buy an NFT for a very reasonable price, and you're not sort of priced out by these exorbitant pricing that's happening in NFT space right now. So yeah, that's besides all the other things with the Near protocol and the Mintbase blockchain, the Mintbase marketplace. I just wanted to really make this set of NFTs accessible to you guys, so they're not crazily priced, and the transaction cost will be extremely low, so you're not going to spend much money there either. Alright, so you watched this far into the video and you either are dead keen or you kind of curious about the Qkumba Zoo NFTs. So I think before you proceed any further, maybe what you want to do, I'm going to include a link below to a virtual gallery where these NFTs will be on display. I find it pretty cool, actually. It's very cool to, you don't even need the VR glasses. All you need is a computer, and you can walk into the gallery and have a look at our NFTs that are displayed on the wall of the gallery. So I'm going to do that below. If you want to go to check out these NFTs and decide if you want to go any further, then do that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just do a very high level walkthrough of what you need to do if you want to purchase any of these. There's a fair amount of detail in each steps, which I'm not going to cover because rather leave links to that because they're pretty well explained by the marketplace or by the blockchain itself. But just to give you overall context, let me just walk you through the high level steps. So the first thing you need to do is to set up a Near Protocol wallet. There'll be a link below how to do that. Once you've set up, it's pretty simple. It's not really hard to do at all. And once you've done that, then you need to fund the wallet. And if you're already into cryptocurrency, you can purchase some Near coin on the exchange, any exchange that you might be on, or you can buy some Near coin using MoonPay. So you'll fund your wallet, and then once you've done that, then you'll go to the Mintbase website and you'll kind of sign in with your wallet. And that gives you access to being able to purchase on Mintbase. Then you go to a store, which is also linked below, have a look at the NFT you want, and then you'll buy it. And then just to note, the NFT that you buy, you'll move to your wallet. And if you want to look at it, you will go to this website called 3XR Space, which is a virtual gallery, and any NFTs, or you buy other NFTs on Mintbase, you can actually kind of walk into the gallery and just watch and see them on display on the wall. I think it's actually pretty cool, and I actually love going and checking out NFTs like that. So yeah, that's it. Set up a wallet, fund a wallet, go to Mintbase, buy the NFT, send the NFT to your wallet, and then if you want to impress your friends, open a virtual gallery on 3XR Space and walk them through it. Pretty simple, actually. Yeah, go do it. So guys, in conclusion, as I said in the beginning, I really would love for Lavana and myself to be able to spend a whole lot more time with Qkumba Zoo. Everything that I've discussed in this video is about helping us to do that. And like I said, if you're not interested in any of these options, great, just stick with us on Facebook. We're always going to be available on there. And if you are interested in, say, the Patreon option, we'd love to have you there as well. And that's a monthly fee. Right now it's $5, or you can choose your own. So if you wanted to donate more, you could, or it's going to be at least $5. If you want to purchase a Qkumba Zoo NFT, that's another option that we would love you to explore if you're interested in that. Thank you for listening this far. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And thank you so much for spending this time. I always appreciate hanging out with you guys, and with these new initiatives, I hope to be able to do that a lot more, and to work on Qkumba Zoo a whole lot more. And because there's about 3 or 4 songs even right now that we are working on, or I'm working on, we're trying to finish. And it's been really cool having you guys in our community on the Facebook page, and that will never go away. And hopefully you can join us, or want to join us, on some of these other initiatives as well. So thank you guys, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers.